And to our top story this hour, as the blame game between the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and the Council of Governors continues over the nurses' strike that enters its third day today, Kenyans across the country are suffering, many of them hopeless and staring at death from a close range. Kenneth Seka now brings us those details.
Just 48 hours into yet another medical workers' strike, the second one this year, and it appears the nurses' union leadership is not speaking in one voice.
As chairman, I cannot recall any meeting that I've chaired as per our constitution because I'm mandated to chair all National Executive Council meetings.
The legally recognized chair of the Kenya National Union of Nurses, John B,
waiting for you to signal us that you are ready,
has accused his colleagues from the Executive Council of sidelining him in the calls to have the nurses down their tools.
As we stand now, the strike that is ongoing, I can say without no uncertain time. As we stand now, the strike that is ongoing, I can say without no uncertain terms that it is unfair.
But some officials from the same union would have none of that. Speaking exclusively to KTN News, the Deputy Secretary General to the union, Maurice Opetu, downplayed the chair's comments, stating, and I quote, "John B's view on the ongoing strike is just like that of a villager who wakes up to the news on television. He was suspended by the National Executive Council and thus is talking on his own behalf and not that of the union," end of quote.
I cannot recall any meeting that I've chaired as national chair sanctioning the reactivation of this strike which commenced yesterday. This is a total sham.
The apparent scuffle within the union leadership now creating more confusion among its members who began their strike on Monday. The nurses are demanding the signing and immediate implementation of a collective bargaining agreement that would see an addition to their health risk allowance from 3,800 shillings to 15,400 shillings. The collective bargaining agreement has provided for a uniform allowance of 50,000 shillings per year, as well as an extraneous allowance of 5,000 shillings, a flat rate to be added to all job groups. The totaling amount, according to the Council of Governors, would result in a financial burden to the counties amounting to about 40 billion shillings annually.
Once SRC makes a pronouncement on the matter, county governments will go ahead together with national government, will go ahead and sign a CBA with the nurses union.
Waiting for you.
But the Salaries and Remuneration Commission has now distanced itself from the growing stalemate, insisting it had recommended negotiations to fall within a 5.8 billion shilling wage bill bracket that it insists would have been sustainable. And with the nurses union insisting the strike is still on, the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection has now offered to arbitrate in the matter, calling for a Wednesday morning meeting with the nurses union and the Council of Governors to hammer out a quick solution before the situation gets out of hand.